Good day, Mustangs, and thank you for joining us once again. It's Thursday, March 31st, 2022, and I'm Jose Salinas. In the headlines, 4 chess teams competed in the Georgia Scholastic Team Tournament. FSA's High School Model UN team competed in an international conference. A closer look into the annual STEM night, and a follow-up with Advocacy Club. But first, join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This past Saturday, FSA had 4 chess teams compete in the Georgia Chess Association's 2022 Scholastic Team Championship. Teams competed in the K1, K5, and K8 categories. This tournament undoubtedly gave players the opportunity to gain the over-the-board experience, since for many players this was their first ever in-person tournament. Despite this, the teams did not hold back and had a strong showing in this competition. In the K1 section, FSA's team stood in 6th place, and the K5 team secured an outstanding 4th place victory. The K8 team stood in 7th place overall. FSA's Model UN team traveled to New York City to compete in an international MUN conference. For some delegates, it was just another MUN experience. But for others, this was their first ever conference. Here's Mustang News reporter Varsha Sayana with some more details.
After a packed itinerary of sightseeing from the time we touched down in New York, it was time to buckle down and focus on the real reason we were there. A grand opening ceremony kicked off the sessions that lasted until 11 p.m. that night. For some FSA delegates, there were no surprises. The fast-paced environment and presenting before a large crowd comes naturally to those who have been involved in Model UN for years dating back to middle school. For Akshay Maharaj, this was his last high school MUN conference.
As the last conference for my 6-year Model UN career, this conference went very well. The debate was smooth, the discussion flowed, and the discourse was excellent.
While for some, this was their last conference, for others, this was their very first in-person experience at the high school level. Arzu Varani just completed her 2nd year of MUN, but this was her first in-person conference. She shares this as a new delegate at an international conference.
So this year was my first in-person conference at NISMUN, and it was amazing. It was extremely exhilarating, and the public speaking aspect of it and making judgment calls and thinking on the spots were probably my favorite part. And I learned a lot about having to collaboratively come up with solutions with other people and also think of innovative and creative solutions that no one's thought of before.
For each delegate, it was not just a time to shine and compete, but also to learn from their peers from across the globe. At the end of the conference, FSA's High School Model United Nations team walked away with 4 individual and 1 school delegation award. Chaperones Villegas and La Rosa stuck it out with the team and were with them every step of the way. This was Mr. La Rosa's first time as the High School Model UN advisor, and he was very proud of the team's performance representing Iran. For Mustang News, I'm Varsha Sayana.
After 2 years of Zoom calls, FSA was finally able to host our annual STEAM night in person. It was a night like no other, especially since students got the chance to do hands-on experiments with their peers and family to learn more about the pillars of STEAM. On Thursdays, we are committed to reminding ourselves about FSA's rebranded core values. Together, they sound out, I care. So let's review the E in I care. For Mustangs, empathy creates a foundation for trusting and caring relationships, increases our capacity for learning, empowers our students at every level, and provides support for everyone in our school community. Previously, Saba Faisal looked into the club-making process, focusing specifically on the new Advocacy Club. Today, she investigates the club's current status and ongoing monthly project.
As you know, March is Women's History Month. For this reason, Advocacy Club wanted to center their project around the theme of empowering women. Through brainstorming and collaboration, the team chose to create a presentation for FSA students. Shiza Syed recounted everyone pitching in their separate ideas, then combining them into the unified theme of empowering women. Each member was assigned to first come up with a topic concerning women, and second, put together 1 to 2 slides on that topic. Yasmin Hassan spoke about her previous research on protests going on around the country and how she could focus on them in her slides. Combating wage differences, the stigmatization of periods, sexism, and more were featured in Advocacy Club's slideshow. For the next few meetings, the club reviewed each other's work and focused on practicing presenting. During this time, constructive criticism regarding the information, presentation, formatting, etc. was given to each member, and everyone's final drafts were created. A recording of Advocacy Club's presentation will be shown to impact classes the week after spring break. All of the members described their passion and excitement to have their views shared with the school. Shiza noted that it was a fun process to come up with the idea, create the slides, and see everything come together, while Yasmin recalled her excitement to get to spread the word about research she'd previously done. The goal of Advocacy Club is to have each member determine what advocacy is to them, and how they can incorporate it into their daily lives. By learning to advocate for different causes, they're each one step closer to that goal. For Mustang News, I am Saba Faisal.
It is time for the weather. The forecast shows today's weather to be within the high 30s with cloudy skies over the next few days. Wind gusts will be between 5 to 10 miles per hour with a low chance of rain. Additionally, with spring on the horizon also comes a burst of pollen and increased discomfort for allergy sufferers. A glance at pollen.com indicates a trend to the medium to high levels on the index daily. For a detailed look and to see what is in high bloom today, visit pollen.com. To close off the celebration of Women's History Month, the quote for today is by Eleanor Roosevelt, the longest-serving First Lady of the United States. She was known for her advocacy for women's rights, including those in the working class and for women in professional and political positions. She says, "A woman is like a tea bag. You never know how strong she is until she gets in hot water." Ready for some laughs? It is time for the joke of the day. What kind of car does an egg drive? A Volkswagen. Because of updated guidance on masking from the CDC, FSA is now making masks optional for both teachers and students. Before you get in the car to leave home, complete your daily wellness check on School Pass. If you are feeling sick, stay home. Check COVID updates on the FSA website and please review FSA's protocol. Remember, the first person you need to get in touch with if you're experiencing symptoms, if you're exposed to someone who tested positive, or if you yourself had a positive test, is the school nurse. On another note, attendance issues and doctor's notes should be sent to attendance@fultonscienceacademy.org. And students, remember, you should always be in the correct uniform unless it is a dress down day. Stay safe and healthy, Mustangs, and don't forget to subscribe to FSA's YouTube channel. I am Jose Salinas, reminding you that when we, you, and I care, we are always #stronger together.